There was a time when just saying the word electric changed the conversation. When the idea itself felt radical, back then, being first mattered. It meant freedom to experiment, room to fail, and time to learn while everyone else was still arguing about whether the future would even arrive. That advantage was real, and it carried us far. But the world doesn't stand still. And first place is only permanent if you keep running faster than everyone else. What's happening now is simple, even if it's uncomfortable to admit. The gap is closing. The technology that once seemed unreachable is now being built at scale by companies that already know how to manufacture millions of vehicles efficiently. Batteries are no longer mysterious. Software is no longer exclusive. Design, range, autonomy, these aren't secret weapons anymore. They're table stakes. And when innovation becomes standard, the rules change. You're no longer competing against doubt, you're competing against execution. Cost, supply chain, speed, consistency. The things that don't look exciting on stage, but decide who survives in the real world. Being first gave us permission to break things. Being surrounded by competitors means you don't get that luxury anymore. Every delay is amplified. Every misstep is copied and improved elsewhere. Every bold move is instantly analyzed and replicated. This isn't about losing relevance, it's about losing isolation. And that's a very different challenge. When you're alone, vision is enough. When everyone's caught up, discipline matters just as much as imagination. So the question isn't whether the early advantage is gone. It is. The real question is whether we can build a second advantage, one based not on novelty, but on relentless excellence, because being first got us here. Staying ahead will take something harder. Competition used to be a concept we talked about in theory. Now it's real, it's global, and it's relentless. This isn't just a few rivals trying to catch up. It's entire nations investing heavily in electric vehicles, building factories at scale, and moving with speed that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. Look around the world. Manufacturers in Asia are producing high-quality electric cars at prices that force uncomfortable conversations. European automakers are leveraging decades of engineering experience and global supply chains. Everyone has figured out that electrification isn't optional, it's survival. And when survival is on the line, people move fast. The reality is we're no longer competing price. Cuts sound simple. Lower the cost, sell more cars, keep momentum. On the surface, it looks like strength, confidence even. But underneath, it's a trade-off. Every dollar you shave off the price is a dollar you don't get to invest in the future. And when you do it repeatedly, the math starts to matter more than the headlines. When competition heats up, price becomes the fastest lever to pull. You can respond immediately. You can protect volume. You can stay visible. But volume without healthy margins is a fragile victory. Factories don't run on optimism. R&D doesn't get funded by unit sales alone. Long-term innovation needs breathing room. There's also the psychological side. When prices fall too often, customers learn to wait. They delay purchases, expecting the next cut. That hesitation ripples through demand in ways that are hard to control. What was once excitement becomes calculation. And brands that once felt premium start to feel negotiable. This isn't about fear of competition. It's about respect for economics. Sustainable companies don't just grow, they compound. They protect the engine while expanding the road. And when margins thin, even great ideas struggle to survive the journey from concept to reality. The hard truth is this price wars rarely have winners. They only decide who bleeds the slowest. You can outrun competitors for a while, but if the ground keeps eroding beneath your feet, speed alone won't save you. So the challenge now isn't selling more cars. It's selling them in a way that still funds tomorrow. Because growth without profit isn't dominance. It's delay. When you take on impossible problems, focus becomes your most valuable currency. Not money, not talent, focus. And the moment that a focus gets divided too many ways, cracks start to show quietly at first, then all at once. Running one world, changing company is already a full contact sport. Running several at the same time means every decision carries opportunity cost. Time spent solving one crisis is time not spent preventing another. And when the stakes are this high, even small distractions compound into big consequences. People often assume leadership is about vision alone. It's not. Vision sets direction, but execution keeps the lights on. Teams need clarity. Engineers need consistency. Investors need confidence that the person at the center is fully engaged, not mentally split across 10 battlefields at once. When attention scatters, uncertainty grows. Employees start wondering which priorities matter most. Markets start guessing instead of believing. And competitors who are focused on one thing move faster because they don't have to look over their shoulder. This isn't about energy or intelligence. It's about bandwidth. No human has infinite cognitive capacity. Even the most driven minds have limits. And when leadership stretches beyond those limits, the organization feels it long before the headlines do. The hardest part, from the inside, it doesn't feel like distraction. It feels like momentum, progress everywhere at once. But motion isn't the same as traction. You can be moving nonstop and still drifting off course. At some point, every leader has to make a choice, do more things or do fewer things exceptionally well. Because in a market this unforgiving, focus isn't optional, it's survival. Brands aren't just built on products, they're built on trust, on a quiet agreement between the company and the customer that says, we know what we're doing and we're doing it for the right reasons. Once that agreement starts to wobble, it doesn't matter how advanced the technology is, people hesitate. For a long time, the story was simple innovation, optimism, the future arriving early. People didn't just buy a car, they bought into an idea. They felt like participants in something bigger. But perception isn't static, it evolves with every headline, every controversy, every unexpected decision. When messages become unpredictable, when priorities seem unclear, people start asking questions. Not loudly at first, quietly. Is this still about the mission? Is this still for me? And once those questions take root, loyalty becomes fragile. Customers don't like uncertainty. Neither do investors. Neither do employees. In today's world, perception moves faster than reality. A single statement can outweigh years of engineering. A moment of noise can drown out months of progress. And when the narrative shifts from innovation to distraction, it becomes harder to control the conversation. This doesn't mean the brand is broken. It means it's being tested. Public trust isn't lost overnight, but it can erode steadily if it isn't protected with intention. Consistency matters. Focus matters. Saying less sometimes matters more than saying everything. The challenge now isn't just building great vehicles. It's rebuilding clarity, reminding people what the mission actually is and why it still matters. Because when belief fades, even the best products struggle to carry the weight alone. Technology can win races, trust wins decades. So is this the end? That's the question everyone wants to ask. Is this where the story stops, where the momentum finally runs out and the game is over? From the outside, it can look that way. Slower growth, tighter margins, louder competition. A world that no longer waits in awe before it moves on. But endings and turning points often look exactly the same. Every meaningful breakthrough I've been part of came after a period where everything felt unstable, where the assumptions stopped working, where the easy advantages disappeared. Those moments don't signal defeat, they signal exposure. They force you to see what actually matters when the noise is stripped away. Pressure has a way of clarifying priorities. It asks uncomfortable questions. What are we uniquely good at? Where are we distracted? What must change now, not later? Companies that survive these moments don't do it by pretending nothing is wrong. They do it by confronting reality faster than anyone else. This isn't about nostalgia for the early days. You can't rely on being first. That chapter is closed. The only option is reinvention, hard, unglamorous, disciplined reinvention. Fewer distractions, sharper focus, better execution, less talk, more results. Some people will call that retreat. It's not, it's recalibration. It's the decision to trade hype for durability, speed for precision, and ego for resilience. So no, the game isn't over. But it's no longer being played on easy mode. And from here on out, every win has to be earned.